Okay, so we're here with Jake from RYK Modular. Hey Jake.
Alright.
Yeah, what have you brought to Superbooth this year? You got some new toys.
Today we're showing the newest module announcement, which is time slice, which is just coming out of prototype beta testing. So essentially it's 4 channels of audio inputs and outputs, and each channel has its own 2 or 3 minute buffer, and you can use those buffers to loop sound or use them as delay feedback loops and that sort of thing. So it's quite flexible.
Fantastic.
So I could just start you can see the audio is represented by these LEDs on the circle. So we've got a kalimba here, I think. So if I play a note, you see it starts here, then it goes round. So I turn on, I can do a little, then if I hit the loop button, then it comes back round again like that.
So that's like a visual representation
Exactly
of the amplitude. Yeah.
And then we could change the loop length, so we can do shorter loops and jump around the splice points. So you can scan through the sample. Just go back to the longer loop. Each channel has filters. There's 3 types of filters in there: band pass, low pass, high pass. There's high quality pitch shifters, so you can keep the playback at the same speed and pitch shift it. What else we've got? We've got some other stuff. There's some African drumming on another channel, so we can use these to mix the different tracks together.
So yeah, so you have 4 separate tracks for recording.
Yeah, and a 4 in and out. So currently I'm using a mix output for all tracks, but you could have separate outputs. And you could even cross-patch between an output of one track into the input of another and re-record them and recycle them, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then we can, the modulation inputs you can select an input to re-trigger a sample. So say like this, I don't know if this will work, we can trigger the drumming sample again with a reset. Let's find as a random output we can plug into the drumming trigger.
And presumably you can have different loop lengths for each of the
Yeah, exactly.
tracks.
So if we go back to the loop length on here, so we can go to a very short loop length and then scan through the slice time. Scan through the slices and then put a crossfade in there to make it a bit softer. It's got a nice interpolation algorithm, so when we change the speed of the samples, it sounds quite nice. Let's go to the speeds. And you can also pitch lock stuff as well, so if you're slowing stuff down, you can turn on the pitch lock and it keeps the pitch of things that you're changing.
And there seems to be quite a lot of I/O here. There's a lot of sort of options of routing.
Yeah, I mean essentially you choose a track here, which is an active track, and you see on the menu you've got this, it tells you which track you're on, and then also the menu items you can then dial through. And then these buttons are sort of action buttons where you can start, stop the whole loop, record button. There's a loop button, you can mute stuff, and then go forwards and backwards and that sort of thing as well.
Excellent. And what sort of memory, what sort of sampling time?
So it's 48K, and there's about 3 minutes per channel or more, I think, at the moment. And then the idea is, with the USB, you can save and load everything as WAV files from the buffers, and then use those somewhere else, or bring your own recordings into here and use them into the buffers.
Great. And is it mono? Is each track mono or stereo?
Each track's mono, but you can group 2 tracks into a stereo channel. So each buffer you can actually also use for delays. So if I turn up the delay time on channel 2 as such, and this is the level control becomes a feedback, and then we can use the filters or the The pitch shifter is also in the feedback path, so you get that sort of classic sort of arpeggiating sound, which you may be familiar with.
Yeah.
It's very good on drums as well. It's famously used on drums. So if you do a shorter delay time, I don't have a drum with me, I'm afraid, and then you pitch shift down. It sounds rather. Oh, sorry. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. It's really high fidelity. Like you've been changing things, pitching it up and down, slowing it, and there's no kind of artifacts.
Yeah, no, we've got a very I was going to say high end, but it's actually based on a famous box from the 80s, pitch shifter. And what it does, it's an intelligent pitch shifter where it matches all the waveforms when it's splicing.
Right.
So you get quite a decent kind of rare replay, as you can hear there when it plays back. And it works on polyphonic sounds as well quite nicely.
Yeah,
Just get a shorter delay time.
And can you presumably play samples backwards and things like that?
Yeah, so if we loop that up, and then we can just go backwards, and you see the...
Yeah, wow.
And then we could patch, like, you could patch something into there to change the speed as well. So let's put in a voltage control. So you select a mod inputs, go for speeds. Channel 2, something like that. Strangely not working, sorry.
And presumably it'll sync to external gear and you can kind of...
Yeah, so we were clocking it with the M185 sequencer, so we could have samples running in time with the sequencer. Also, you can put a pitch lock on, so when things change speeds, the pitch stays the same. So your external sequencer can slow down or speed up and lock all the samples to that, and the pitch will stay the same.
Excellent. And you said it'd be available in...
So it's going to be available hopefully in autumn, so end of summer. Retail probably 400, hopefully not much more than 400 UK pounds.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah, look forward to seeing it out. Thanks for showing us, Jake.
Thanks so much.